This is going to be a three-part series on how to reverse cardiac aging based on the research. So make sure you watch all three because each three videos goes over different information and different solutions. So let's dive in. So now you've got the information about what the study tells us, and you've already watched my video on how to implement, how to use that information from the study to apply it to yourself to reverse your heart aging and cardiac aging. Now you're probably wondering, oh, hey, Jimmy, can you give me a sample workout, sample action plan, right? And that's what we're going to do today. Okay. This is a sample weekly action plan, day-to-day structure for steady cardio, interval, strength, and recovery. So you want to treat exercise like medicine because it is medicine. Exercise is one of the best medicine, right? Food is also another medicine, right? And guess what? Both of these, you don't need anybody else to give it to you. You don't need a doctor to prescribe it to you, but you need the right information. Treat exercise like medicine that you take every week. So the authors of the study, they explicitly say that this kind of training is a form of medicine for the heart. So you got to treat it. If you want to reverse the age of your heart, you got to treat it like medicine. For preventing a type of heart failure where the heart is stiff but still pumps out a normal fraction of blood, they suggest this kind of training in middle age. So let's start with big picture, sample cardio fitness action plan. Here's a big picture, 4 to 5 days per week. I would say 5 days a week. Let's just put 5 days a week. That's about 150 to 160 minutes per week of mixed easy and hard cardio plus strength work. Build over months, then hold that level for years, not weeks. I'm going to go back. I showed you in this other video, but I'm going to go over here and show you again. The first 1 to 2 months, build a habit. Next 3 to 6 months, you can add the hard work. 7 to 10 months, peak volume, and 11 to 24 months, just maintain. That's the goal that we're shooting for. So let's come back to here. So what counts as steady versus hard? So steady days, reminder, you're breathing faster, right? You can still talk in short sentences, but not gasping for air. So think brisk walking, easy cycling, relaxed swimming, or light jogging. A hard day feels like an 8 to 9 out of 10 in effort during the work phases. You can't say much more than a few words. This is your interval day. So sample weekly plan. You can swap days around, but keep the structure. Day 1, steady cardio. That's 30 to 40 minutes. Let's just say 30 minutes. Let's keep it simple. 30 minutes. Brisk walk, treadmill at an easy jog, stationary bike, elliptical, or lap swimming at a comfortable pace. The aim is continuous movement with a steady, moderate effort. So no start, stop, start, stop. 30 minutes, steady cardio, day 1. Day 2, interval, 4x4s. You warm up with 10 minutes easy walking, cycling, or jogging. Then your main set is you go hard. We can call it the 4x4 session. 4 minutes hard. Here's some examples. Fast walk uphill, strong bike resistance, faster swim, or jog near your limit. You can hold for 4 minutes. And then you go easy for 3 minutes. Slow walk, light cycling, relaxed swim. Then you repeat that 4 times, right? So total hard time, 16 minutes. Whole session is about 35 to 40 minutes. And then you cool down for 5 to 10 minutes, very easy. So this mimics the study's key high intensity workout. This is like the HIIT training right here. So day 2, HIIT training. Day 3, strength plus easy movement, okay? Strength for 20 to 30 minutes, go 20 minutes. What I personally do is I do 20 minutes of just weights. I go in the gym, bust out 20 minutes. I barely even rest. I mean, for me, again, everybody's different, but I rest no more than 60 seconds, 1 minute. I usually rest about 30 seconds and hop on to the next set. Okay. But for you, if you're getting into it, you can rest a little longer, 1 to 2 minutes, right? So strength, lower body is your squats and lunge. You don't need any gym equipment. You can squat in your home, okay? Squat above your toilet. Do the potty squat. Upper body, you do push-ups, presses, and rows. Cores, you can do planks, dead bugs, bird dogs, right? And then add 20 minutes of easy walking or cycling if time allows, just to keep the blood flowing. You don't need to. Day 3, you can just go 20 minutes in your bedroom, in your office, do these, you're done. Day 4, longer, steady cardio, 45 minutes. Hey, you can still do 30 minutes, right? Options, longer walk, include hills, outdoor bike ride, longer swims, extended elliptical treadmill session. Keep the pace moderate. The goal is time on feet and sustained effort, not sprints. Day 5, optional steady day or rest. So I would go steady day. Steady day is the rest. If recovering well, do another 30, 40-minute steady session similar to day 1. If you're tired or sore, take a rest day with light walking only. Across the week, this gives you 2 to 3 steady days and so forth. You've got day 6, day 7, Saturday, Sunday to rest, okay, if you're doing Monday through Friday. I recommend day 5, just do a steady day. You see how simple it is? You don't need any equipment. You just use your own body weight. That's it. And use Mother Nature. You got hills, you got sidewalks, you got your subdivisions, and so forth. So what does it look like progression over 24 months? Well, just to see where each phase begins, what changes, and what should be maintained. Month 1, get moving. Start with 3 steady days per week, 30 minutes each. Add 1 to 2 basic strength sessions, the squats, lunges, right, push-ups. No hard intervals yet. Focus on habit and tolerance first. Then in month 3 to 6, that's when you add intensity. That's the hard work. Introduce the 4x4s, right? Move to 4 to 5 exercise days. Make one steady day a bit longer, 45 minutes to 60, or you can just play tennis. I play tennis, so that will be my intensity day. And then in month number 7 to 10, peak training, you keep 1 to 2 interval days if allowed. Otherwise, stick to 1 and then hold total weekly exercise time around 5 to 6 hours, maintain 2 strength days, right? And then month 11 to 24, you got your routine after 10 months, just keep it going. Easy peasy. Month 11 to 24, maintain. The study shifted to 1 interval day per week while keeping steady days. So you don't like exercising, just do 1 HIIT training or interval day a week. 3 rules, super important, that come straight from the study. Consistency beats hero workouts. Hero workouts are, I just see this in clinic. I gotta lose weight. I gotta reverse my diabetes. I reverse my hypertension, my cholesterol, blah, blah, blah. My doctor told me I need to exercise. So they go hit some F45, Orange Theory, some workout, jazzercise, and they hit it hard. Hero workouts, right? They do it for a couple weeks and then they quit. In order to reverse your heart aging, right, you have to be consistent for years, minimum 2 years, okay? That's what it's talking about. Hard days are earned. The intervals were added only after people had a solid base of regular steady training. You've been sedentary, you don't like exercise, you haven't been exercising, start first 2 months. Up here, I said, take it easy. Just get moving. You don't need to do the HIIT training yet, the interval training yet. Third rule, exercise must be more than stretching. Stretching is phenomenal to prevent you from getting hurt while you're exercising, but it does not reverse your heart aging. It does not improve your fitness or heart flexibility. Now, in my previous videos, I talked about, okay, over 65, the research shows that it's, even if you did 1 year of this movement, this physical training, right, your heart aging doesn't get reversed. And then I said, oh, but in our clinic, it does. So the next question is, you're probably wondering, well, Jimmy, what does your team have your patients do after they're 65 and older? What do they do to reverse their heart? I'm going to go over that. But first, let me give you some disclaimers. This is educational use and research reference. Before you do anything that I say in these videos, you need to check with your physician or a qualified healthcare professional so that you don't injure yourself. Our physicians are the best people to monitor you. That's up to you for you to decide. That's not for me to tell you, okay? Primary research, here's the links to the research that I've been talking about. But now let's go into after you're 65, and the research shows after 65, it's very hard to make your heart flexible again. It's very hard to reverse the stiffness and the aging of your heart. But Jimmy, you said that your team does. What do you do? Here's what we do. When exercise is not enough to help you reverse your heart aging, this is what I've done in the past 20 plus years, and my team currently does for our patients in our clinic even today. We help them restore their heart function, and there's many tools that we use, and I'm going to go through it, just give you a sample of what we do, okay? Again, this is educational purpose only. This is not my prescription for you. You need to check with your physician before you do any of these things, okay? So we restore the heart function from a Chinese medicine perspective. Heart is correlates to the fire element, which is part of a 5-element theory or the 5 elements organs. So what we do is we focus on nutrition as one thing and blood circulation, right? So remember, the purpose of exercise was to get more blood delivered throughout your whole body, especially to your heart. So you need blood to go back to your heart, to nourish your heart, right? Because when we breathe in oxygen, that oxygen doesn't directly go into your heart muscles and your heart cells. It goes through your lungs, which infuses into the blood, and the blood goes from the lungs to the heart. And so, therefore, your heart gets nourished by this oxygenated blood. But there's also nutrients that after you eat food, you drink liquid, that nutrients gets processed through your digestive tract, goes through the intestines, and it goes back into the blood vessels. And that when it goes into the blood vessels, it's got to go back to your heart to nourish your heart, right? So, why am I saying all this? Nutrients are super important. Your blood circulation, not just out of your heart, but back to your heart is super important. And so in our clinic, my team, what we do in addition, so even if you're 65 years and older, you still need to exercise. You got to do that. Even though the research shows exercise itself is not going to reverse your heart aging, but you need to add on these extra components that I'm about to go over. So you need to do the exercise that I explained in the previous videos, but you also need to add these. At least you don't need to. This is what we do recommend for our patients. So acupressure. They come to our clinic for acupuncture, so we do it for them. But what you can do at home is acupressure. By applying acupressure, you can stimulate the brain to move nutritious blood back to the heart and to stimulate the heart to have better communication with the brain to function better. So we go through these acupressure points, right? And this is part of a guidebook that I created. It's a guidebook on balancing your organs, 5-element system, the 5 main organ systems. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. If you want access to this, comment guidebook and my team will send you a link to get free access to this guidebook. Okay. But let's jump back to the heart. So here's 3 of the top acupressure points that can help restore your heart function in addition to the exercise. Okay. Heart 7, small intestine 3, heart 8. And then here's some lifestyle habits that can help. In addition to the exercise, the HIIT training, and so forth, you need to have these lifestyle habits. You may be thinking, man, that's a lot of things to do. I thought I can just do 1 or 2 things. Well, you had 65 years to do it, but you chose not to, okay? Now you got to suffer the consequence. The consequence is if you don't put in the work when you're younger, in the research, it says between 45 to 65, guess what? You're going to have to put in more work after 65, but you're retired, so you got time. So you can read through this when you get the guidebook. We also go through the nutrition. So food is super important, right? These foods have been shown over 3,000 years to specifically benefit the heart organ. So really making sure that you get these foods into your diet and add on the exercise, add on the acupressure, add on the lifestyle, man, after 2 years, you'll see an improvement. Actually, even before 2 years. And the research said exercise takes 2 years. But in our clinic, when patients come to us for our help, it takes them 3 to 6 months. But it's a lot of work. I'm not saying, hey, that it's easy, right? You got to do all of this. You don't have to do it perfectly, but you have to do all of it, right? So in this guidebook, I also include some recipes to make it more palatable. But just to summarize, you got to eat the right foods to benefit your heart, and you got to execute the daily habits, the exercise, the nutrition, the mind, the environment, the acupressure. You have to do all of this. So these are the things that we do in our clinic to help our patients that are over 65 years old restore their heart function, and their bodies can reverse that heart aging.